Hey guys, it's SRC Reptiles, and today I'm going to be making a little video to show you the 5 youngest baby crested geckos. And then tomorrow, when I go to feed 5 of the middle, when it comes to age tiers, 5 of the like middle age-wise babies, when I go to feed those, I'll make a video showing them to you. But here we have Fudge. It looks like he actually has some stuck shed right there. I'm going to have to tinker with that when I have the chance. Anyway, this is Fudge, so Bolt is this one's sibling. And I wanted to make this video because I realized I really haven't been making a lot of reptile videos lately. I've been super busy with tending to the babies and with my new job, and I also have a new pet which I'm going to be making a video about soon. But so I figured I'd just kind of showcase some of the babies. So this little baby here is a bicolor, very similar to how Serenity is a bicolor, and also so is Pop-Tart. This one here is a very rich, deep, reddish brown, which I wish the camera would show a little bit better, but, this one also has, let's see, what was it? Phantom Pinning Type C, I believe it was what I believe that's what it was when I looked it up. So it's not like it makes them any more valuable or anything, it's just a trait that some of them can carry. So it's pretty much when the tips of the pinning, my brain went blank for a minute. It's pretty much when the tips of the pinning, I believe, are a deeper color than what the actual body is. So for instance, it's hard to see, and if I'm able to get a picture someday, I'll show it to you guys whenever that time comes. But his pinning is a really pretty deep reddish brown, a lot different in color than his actual body color. So it's really pretty, and I wasn't really sure what trait it was that he had that made his pinning do that. So I got on a website, which I'll put it in the description. I can't remember if it's called like Gecko Geek or whatever. Their website is under construction, so there's no pictures anymore, which I'm kind of sad, but there's still descriptions, and that description, which was, I believe, Phantom Pinning Type C, was the only one that sounded even remotely close to what he has, so we're just going with that. But when I go to sell him, I might tell the person, hey, I'm pretty sure this is a trait that he has, if they're thinking about breeding him, just so they know, but otherwise it doesn't take away or make him any more valuable. So anyway, that is Fudge, and we'll move on to Bolt next. Okay guys, so this here is Bolt, and Bolt is the sibling to Fudge. He looks like he is going to be a tricolor. As you can see, he's got the white in the mid laterals that is developing, but he also kind of has some cream that's starting to pop up from the very bottom. And then he just has like barely enough to even consider pin dashing. He has a decent crest that looks like he's developing. As you can see, it's the nice shape there. He is turned this way so I can kind of show you a little bit of the pattern on this side. So I'll kind of pick him up a little bit and show you. If he'll sit still anyway. He looks like he's maybe got a tiny bit of drippy pattern going on, just on that one side it looks like. Maybe over here as well on that part there, possibly. But either way, this is Bolt. And even though I forgot to mention it last time, this is the hatch date for Bolt, and then Fudge was a day before, so on the 24th. So yeah, these guys are doing good. I meant to weigh them today, which didn't happen. With having, let me do a count real quick and see. Let's see, we've got 15 baby crested geckos and 7 adults. So we've got 21 crested geckos, of course, and then we have the gargoyle gecko, which is, 22. So even though the gargoyle is a different species, I still count her when I'm counting because she eats the same food, so like when I count dishes and stuff. But anyway, having that many, it takes quite a while to weigh them all. So I forgot to weigh them at all last month. Not like it's a huge deal. Nobody has been like looking like they're losing weight. Snickers actually is going to be going on a diet because she's so fat. She's not chonky. She's like 68 grams, I think. Which I guess could be considered chonky, but, yeah, she's getting a little chub. But anyway, this is Bolt, and as you probably saw on that sticker there, Bolt and Fudge are both from Mischief, and Harmony. I almost said Magma. So they're, of course, all getting fed tonight. Normally I'll feed 2 at a time, but because I'm showing off each one, I'm just feeding 1 at a time now. So anyway, that is Bolt. And then next I will show you the 3 that are from Magma and Blaze, which are Lacard, Gemstone, and Jubilee. And all 3 of those are looking tricolor or extreme tricolor. Jubilee is the only one that doesn't really look an extreme, but Lacard and Gemstone are quite impressive looking, even at the small age that they are. So we'll go ahead and move on to them next. Okay guys, so here we have Gemstone. Gemstone is one of Magma and Blaze's babies, and she was hatched out, he or she I should say, I don't know the gender yet, on August 22nd. So Gemstone is one of the babies that looks really nice, more so in person than on the camera, but you can still see how much pattern this baby has for just a couple months old. Well, almost 2 months, I should say. Actually, yeah, it would be 2 months old, never mind, because it's November now. I keep forgetting it's November. So you can just see how much pattern this baby's covered in. And Lacard is very similar. Sadly, of course, not a complete pinstripe, but that's okay. It's still nice looking. The crest could use a little bit more sticking out on the side, because you can kind of see the... If you would hold still, please, for just a few seconds. I know that you're little and you want to run, but you can see right here by the eye, where the crest goes to meet the eye, it kind of stops, and you can kind of see a little bit of the cheekbone. That's not something you really want, and sadly, Jubilee, which is the one I don't want to keep, has a better looking crest than Gemstone does. So that's kind of the sucky part, is I don't want to keep Jubilee, because I don't care for the pattern that she or he has, but it does kind of suck that the one I am keeping, who decided it needs to jump all over the place all of a sudden, has a still nice crest, I won't lie, but just not as amazing as, you know, its sibling is going to have. So probably won't video this one very long because it's very jumpy, or maybe I can just feed it a little bit and that'll kind of distract it. For those of you who don't know, I literally just use a coffee stir straw. Hold on, let me zoom my phone out real quick. So I use a coffee stir straw from Walmart, and then this little dish that has food in it, and I use that to feed all 5 of the younger babies. And I normally will just put a little bit on at a time, just like that. And then I let them lick it off. So I know this is not specifically a feeding video, and sometimes you have to monitor them, and oh, never mind. They got it. A little bit of noise coming from the tanks up there. But yeah, so that is Gemstone. Very pretty tricolor baby. Hopefully this one will look a lot like Snickers, except it kind of looks like it's going to have a little bit more pattern than Snickers, but we'll see. Because you never know. Obviously they can change quite a bit from this stage to an adult. So anyway, we will go on to either Jubilee or Lacard, whichever one I go to next. This one is Gemstone. Okay guys, so this here is Lacard, another baby that is from Magma and Blaze, and as you can see, this baby has even more pattern than Gemstone, and looks to have quite a bit more pattern as it grows than Snickers, which is saying something, because Snickers is my most valuable gecko I currently own, and I'm really hoping that next year that I'll be able to breed her and Twix together. I wanted that to work out this year. Twix was just kind of like all over the place and has no interest right now in females. Obviously it's a little bit too late into the season to breed them now, so hopefully by the time March or April rolls around, hopefully he will be a little bit more interested in females. But as you can see, this one's got a crap ton of pattern, looking very nice, and this one here is only just barely a month old. So this one turned a month old on the 23rd of October. So very, very nice coloring. It was very exciting to see this one come out of the egg because it was really pretty. And yeah, so obviously not the best when it comes to pin striping. It's more or less pin dashing, I would say, just because it's very spotty here and there. Still a nice dorsal, not gonna lie, and the crest structure, it's a little bit too early to say. Whoop, come back over here. But just from what I'm seeing now, it's not the most amazing, but it does look like this one will probably have a broad head, because you can see how much of overhang there is with the crest. But again, it ends at the corner here, and there's a little gap between the eyeball and that crest on the corner. So hopefully something develops right there, because that is just so annoying when that happens. Because then it makes them look strange, because you've got this little gap there where there is nothing. And this one has a little bit of reverse pin striping, which is when there is a dark shading underneath the pin striping itself. And it's very splotchy. It's only in the areas that there is pin dashing. So every little dash area, there's a little bit of reverse pinning underneath it, which is kind of funny. I didn't know that reverse pinning worked that way. You can kind of see that dark line going down the back there, underneath the pin striping. You can see where there's gaps that are interrupted. Hopefully you can see that. When I'm looking at it, I can see it, but that doesn't mean you guys can see it easily. So this baby, I'm not going to bother too much longer. Obviously I have to feed it, and then we will be on to the last baby of this video, which is Jubilee. So again, this is Lacard. He is just a little over a month old, and he is from Magma and Blaze. Okay guys, so this is the last baby for tonight. This is Jubilee, and I was actually looking at Jubilee's crest, and Jubilee also has the little gap that is from the crest to the eye, so maybe they're supposed to be that like that, I don't know. I haven't really been paying too much attention at this age, because obviously they can really develop quite a bit from this age. This one was born on the 21st of August. And as you can see, more or less there's more white and cream than there is orange. So this one might just turn out to be either a low expression tricolor, or it could be a type of cream harlequin like her dad. So we'll just have to see what develops. Obviously when she's fired up she shows, or I keep saying she, but I don't know the gender. But she has like these little spots here. And a lot of their babies have had these before. I think at first they're like Dalmatian spots, and then they completely disappear when they get older. So, not really sure what those are. I probably should ask in my group sometime. But like I said, they're little spots that are on the skin, and I think that they're Dalmatian spots at some points, and then, like I said, they disappear when they get older. So, I will say I do think Snickers has one Dalmatian spot on her dorsal, and it's really hard to see, because it blends in with the pattern that's going on the back. But hers, there's like a black spot like right in the middle with Snickers. But as you can see, this one's dorsal looks a lot like Blaze's and not so much like Magma's, because the other two, Lacard and Gemstone, theirs looked more like their dad's back pattern, but this one here looks a lot more like Blaze's. So, as you can see, this one's got quite the nice This one's got quite the nice large head on it. As you can see, it definitely is going to have a nice diamond shape. So, that is all of the 5 youngest babies. We've got one egg that's still due to hatch. For any of you who don't know, there was another one that was supposed to hatch, and it actually died during hatching. And this has happened to me before, which is why I'm not too sad about it. Yes, it is quite sad, actually. But I'm used to it, which is kind of sad in its own way. But way back in 2018, Ember had 3 babies that did not make it out of the egg, and they were at different months, not all like consecutively one after the other. But Blaze has never had this issue, so I don't really know if maybe the baby was just not strong enough to make it all the way out, because it peeked its face out, its mouth and its nose. But when I got it out of the egg, I checked in its mouth, and it was black, which means that it drowned, and it had passed away. So sadly, it did not make it. The sibling is at day, I believe, 90, and it has not come out yet. So I'm probably going to check on it tomorrow, and if it has not hatched yet, I'm going to candle it to make sure that it is still alive in the egg. If it does have any sign of movement or heartbeat, yes, you're not really supposed to candle the eggs After, like, checking where the embryo is, you're supposed to let them be so they don't get tangled up or anything, but I need to know if this one is still alive. If I don't see any movement, I might cut the egg a little bit just to see what's going on, because if it's already dead, I'm not going to leave the egg in there because it'll just start to rot. So, sadly, that's something you do have to deal with. Luckily, it's not been on a daily basis for me. It only has happened 3 times in 2018. Obviously, Ember never got bred again for that reason, that I thought maybe something was up with the eggs, because all of her other babies had hatched. Because she had 4 before that. And, yeah, it kind of sucks. Because obviously that baby never got to have its own little life and stuff. And even though it is an animal and not a person, it still is kind of sad, so... Anyway, we do have 4 other eggs from Blaze still to hatch after this one, whether it makes it or not, which obviously I really hope it makes it. I'm hoping that she's done laying eggs after this, because she's already had 3 babies, and then if those 4 hatch, then that'll be 7, and if this other one hatches that is going to be by itself now and not have a hatchmate, that would put us at 8 babies from her. Last time she was bred, she had 8 babies, so I'm not sure if she's going to have more than 8 this time around, or if she is, so we'll see. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching the little video. I hope you found it interesting and got to enjoy seeing how the little babies are doing. Like I said, the middle-aged ones, and then the older ones you'll get to see in different episodes or different videos. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to support the channel. It always encourages me to make more videos. Thank you so much, and have a good rest of your evening.